There's no rush.
Tell me what's my future being selfish. Tell them.
This is not funny though. That's just fucked up. This is not funny. None of this is funny. This is all serious as fuck. With that being said, we're starting off today's news with the good AJC article. If you're from Atlanta, you know what the AJC is. Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Constitution. I don't know what the fuck. The Journal-Constitution. Okay, I gotta do some research on that eventually. I just thought about that. But anyway, as I'm diving into, mediocre journalism, basically, it's not even journalism, it's commentary. As I'm diving into mediocre commentary, I'm not mediocre, but the shit I'm commenting on is mediocre and it's fucked up. So, this has been happening for a long time. Modern day slavery uncovered in South Georgia. Now, before I even start, all the episodes, I can't lie, bro. Ever since Scorpio season, I guess most of my podcasts, most of my reaction videos and shit, it's been dark. I mean, most of the shit I talk about is kind of dark, but especially now, bro, it's like this time of the year is obviously bringing out more secrets, and we diving deep into the waters and seeing what the fuck we see down there with our little lantern light hanging from our head. And with that being said, yeah, bro, I want to say this shit is not just going on in South Georgia. This shit is not just going on in South Georgia. And I know this, I got this news off of Instagram, you feel me? And the only reason I know this shit was happening is because they talking about it's in Georgia. Now, I bet you it's probably other states out there with local news networks, because I don't want to make this video too long, because I want people to actually stick around, because it seems like people got, never mind, I ain't gonna talk about y'all. Yeah, overall, this is not just happening in Georgia. Before I dive into this article, before I read anything, this is not just happening in South Georgia, and it's not just dealing with what they're about to talk about in the article, which is about onions. You talking about onion, you talking about people using slavery for onions. Something as simple as onions. And you don't think they're using slavery for other stuff? How are these people, I'm pretty sure the people, matter of fact, let's just dive into it, bro. I'm about to make this video long, I don't want to. A years-long human trafficking operation trapped migrant workers in modern day, quote unquote, modern day slavery on the South Georgia farms, according to a federal indictment unsealed last week. And that's where I just get over this shit, bro. I really am over this shit, bro. Like, the government should not have a monopoly on information. They should not have a monopoly on information, and they kind of do. They kind of got a monopoly on information that they don't want us to fucking know. So why the fuck is it always like, oh yeah, unsealed an indictment last week, now we can talk about it on AJC? We can't just go there and investigate it like we do the news station. We can't just take our camera crew down there and see these motherfuckers doing it and talk to the workers themselves, get translators and all this shit. We can't make no whole quote unquote Vice News type of fucking situation happen. No, we're gonna wait till the fucking the FBI unseal it. Round of applause. Round of applause. Just like the Sackler family. They always get caught at the last minute when they're already racked up, and all they got to do is pay a little money, I bet. I ain't even read this article, y'all, but I'm pretty sure that's what's about to happen. We're going to get to the Google News shit, you feel me? Like the regular Matrix shit news network. We're going to get to that. But this is a part of it today. That's not, because I'm pretty sure that's not going to be on my Google News, even though my shit is, I got one based on Atlanta. It's not going to be on there. With that being said, victims include over 100 laborers smuggled from Mexico and Central America into brutal and inhumane working conditions under the threat of gun violence. That sounds like slavery. That sounds like the only difference between what they saying was happening to black people back in the day, quote unquote black people, which is basically the people who were on the land already, most likely, and they have just as much right to do whatever the fuck they want to do, you know, even more right. You feel me? They have way more right to do what the fuck they want to do, and they not even doing fucked up shit. So with that being said, the fact that they're being like the fact that this whole narrative has been going on for so long that they don't use so many different races and so many different cultures, and really it's just them exploiting the situations that they make in these countries and in these fucking societies. They'll make a society go fucked up with all the, you know, CIA propaganda and all they, you know, all they psyops. And with that being said, it'll create a situation to where people be desperate to get out of their country, so much so to where they can brainwash a motherfucker, even if they are holding them by gunpoint. Like, they can brainwash a motherfucker to see this is better than life that you had, type shit. And that's insane. I don't give a fuck I don't give a freak how much money somebody done offered you in American dollars that you're gonna be able to flip back at home. Like, that's insane. Under the threat of gun violence, some were allegedly, when I say that's insane, I mean the people who are doing the shit to the rest of the people who are exploiting. I'm not talking about the people who get exploited, but it's insane on their part because they've been forced, they're put in an environment to be forced to be insane, kind of. Under the threat of gun violence, some were allegedly forced to dig for onions with their bare hands, earning only 20 cents for each bucket harvested. At least 2 people died on the job. Another was allegedly repeatedly raped. What the chin fuck? What the chin hell? 20 cents. Okay. Now, if we gonna, like, I'm the type of person, like, I like to look at the big picture. We gonna talk, this is fucked up too. And the whole prison system is fucked up. If you're saying that these people are put into brutal and inhumane work conditions, everything that you're talking, everything you just named, under gun violence, that's in prisons. I mean, you know, under threat of gun violence in prisons, that's how they keep these motherfuckers in check. They beat their ass or they threaten to shoot their ass. Okay, forced to dig for onions with bare hands, only earning 20 cents per each bucket. That's the prison system because people are working in crazy jobs, bro. Like people, your trash man, yo motherfucking all this, like they got like the same shit. They got people in fields too who work in prisons. It's crazy. They picking up your trash off the side of the road they picking up all that shit for like 50 cents a day. 50 cents a day. We're not saying we're not making AJC stories about that and try to stop the whole prison slavery, you know, shit. And Peter was allegedly repeatedly raped. That always happens in prisons. That always happens in jails. You feel me? People get raped all the time. That's well known. And it's not just by the prison people, it's by the fucking people who work in the prisons too. So, I'm gonna be real. Bitches, if I ain't even gonna say it, bro. But yeah, when not out in the fields, workers were detained in work camps surrounded by electric fencing or held in cramped living conditions, including dirty trailers with raw sewage leaks. There was little to no access to food or safe drinking water. 24 accused members and associates of the criminal enterprise that perpetuated the exploitation now face a slew of felony charges. Felony charges, everybody. According to so we're gonna put these motherfuckers in prison. Y'all gonna put these people in prison? I doubt it. I doubt it. Pay a couple fines. Pay a couple fines. That's what they're gonna say. They not gonna put these people in the same conditions that they were putting other people in. Because that's what they do in America is a cap. Capitalism, capitalize ism. You know how you got Hinduism? This is capitalism, nigga. You just exploit people. Like, and if they like the way lawyers and shit work, they'll do the same thing I'm doing where I'll associate common actions or phenomenons with each other so that you can see that it's not just condensed into one spot and then you can lock two niggas up at one time. So with that being said, lawyers gonna do that shit. They're gonna be like, bro, look, if you're gonna do this to us, you gotta do this to every fucking corporation in America. And then after that, they're gonna be like, you know what, you right, nigga. Like, a lot of these corporations are using goddamn Central Americans and Mexicans and South Americans and Italians, even, and Africans and all, and I mean, you know, all these motherfuckers. They using all these people as slaves to this day. It's this sometimes is described is, you know, hidden in other ways, but no, bro, like, come on. The multi-agency corporation that yielded the indictment, dubbed Operation Blooming Onion, may be one of the largest ever human trafficking and visa fraud investigations in the country, Vice News reported. First of all, fuck you, Vice News. I appreciate that shit. Because I know Vice News is like, they giving them the energy right now. They want everybody to trust them. Vice News. Trust these people. But at the same time, it's like, that's like, y'all be telling lies inside of reporting truths. Maybe one of the largest ever human trafficking and visa fraud investigations in the country. You got me fucked up if you want me to think these farmers are the biggest human traffickers in the fucking country. Stop lying, bro. You stop lying. Wait, they say maybe. Okay, they said maybe. So they can get away with it. They ain't got to redact the shit. Only two of the defendants are described as South Georgia's only two of the defendants are described as South Georgia business owners in the indictment. Most were labor contractors or recruiters. Their alleged criminal mistreatment of workers took many forms. Okay, you true about that. That's very true. According to the indictment, laborers were charged unlawful fees for transportation, food, and housing, and though they were, I don't even know, punitively hired, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the fuck that word is. Hired for agricultural work. Some migrants were illegally used for lawn care, construction, and repair tasks. To prevent escapes, members of the accused crime ring unlawfully confiscated workers' passports and documents. Conspirators also sold and traded workers among themselves per the indictment. Conspirators, right? You see how they said that? Conspirators. Conspirators are also sold and traded workers among themselves. Back and forth. Oh, you want this nigga right here? Oh yeah, he from goddamn Nicaragua. So he know how to do all the onion. Yeah, that nigga filed that shit. Oh yeah, but you're gonna have to give me two of those women over there so I can goddamn keep my niggas on my field happy and shit. Like, bro, that shit is disgusting. But it's capitalism. You gotta make a honest living, right? And everybody who has their money, they can keep it. And if you don't keep it, you just give it back to the federal government so they can keep giving it out to new people who are going to do the same shit in different ways or in more secretive ways, basically. The American dream is a powerful attraction for destitute and desperate people across the globe. And where there is need, there is greed. Where there is need, where there is greed, wait, what the fuck? And where there is need, there is greed from those who will attempt to exploit these willing workers for their own obscene profits. David Estes, acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia, said in a statement, thanks to outstanding work from our law enforcement partners, Operation Blooming Onion frees more than 100 individuals from shackles of modern day slavery and will hold accountable those who put them in chains. You know. What do they mean by hold accountable? Let's see. The crimes chronicled in the indictment were alleged to have occurred in South Georgia counties Atkinson, Bacon, Coffee, Tacknell, Toombs, and Ware, where local farmers paid the defendants to provide contract laborers. Man, if you think this happening in Georgia, we got some good soil in Georgia. We can grow hella shit here. It's happening all over the Midwest. It's happening all in your potato fields. It's happening all. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's COVID. It's worse than COVID. You feel me? Yeah. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Let's get back to this. The crimes chronicled in the indictment. Oh, wait, remember, I did that part. The crime ring that orchestrated the human trafficking operation reaped over $200 million from the illegal scheme. Legal scheme. It's just them, though. Or are they about to go on? I don't know what's going on here. I know what's going on here, but I don't know what they're trying to do with this shit. Like, why are they exposing these onion fucking farmers? There's whole, you know, a long list of people going missing, a long list of kids, children, like teenagers and all that shit, adults go missing. You don't know what happened to these people. It's so many things that could be happening to these people. And, you know, we got Operation Blooming Onion. Operation Blooming Onion, when you could have just went in there and talked to the fucking people who working and said, what's going on, bro? Y'all holding a gun to you? Oh yeah, y'all know that now? That's all I needed to know. Why y'all got to get that shit on camera at that point? Why y'all got to get it on camera? Why y'all got to wait till y'all get a whole case together and all that shit? And then y'all talking about this has been happening for a long time, quote unquote. This has been happening for a long time. And it's going to keep happening, you goddamn me. What the fuck? Operation Blooming Onion. Round of applause, Georgia. Round of applause. Everybody in Georgia. We got the best lawyers and district attorneys and all that shit. This has been happening for a long time, quote unquote. Solomon Mercado Spencer is a senior staff attorney at the Farm Worker Rights Division of the Georgia Legal Services Program. What the fuck? A nonprofit law firm that represents low-income farm workers in Georgia with issues related to their wages or working conditions. So that's what it took. We had to wait till a nonprofit law firm came in. I went to school for law. I went to school to study the Constitution and all these fucking cases and shit. And now I'm going to start a nonprofit to help poor farm workers. I'm a superhero. You know, and then the whole time, the people who are fucking supposed to be investigating, the FBI, all this shit, they got information knowing all this shit already. But it took a law firm coming together and forming a case in order for this shit to actually be busted open. That's what it took. What the fuck? And then the name of the law firm is long as hell. Like, okay, this man is the senior staff attorney at the Farm Workers Rights Division of the Georgia Legal Services Program. So basically, he worked for the Georgia Legal Services Program. And then they got a division called the Farm Workers Rights Division, among other divisions where they're supposed to, you know, be helping with legal services and shit like that. So with that being said, y'all know everything y'all need to know. It's only in South Georgia with the blooming onions and shit. You hear me? Where Cato Spencer said the revelations inside the federal indictment were no surprise. This has been happening for a long time in Georgia, and these people that were arrested are not the only ones doing these things. She said, I hope law enforcement keeps busting these operations because that's not the only one going on in Georgia. You damn right, bro. You can go downtown, bro. Like these people, there's so many people working 24/7, hard as fuck. There's so much competition downtown Atlanta that people will work for slave wages. You feel me? People will happily work for slave wages in a society where, like, you can go online and look at the cost of living in your city, and then you can see how much money you make. And if you don't make as much money as the fucking cost of living in your city, most likely you killing yourself slowly. That's what's happening. So what they do, once they said with need come greed, so they're gonna give people, they're gonna make you work. They're gonna make you work 3 weeks in a hole before they even think about paying your ass. And then that whole time you going there working hard as fuck, going hard as hell. And if you just so happen to fucking die a couple days before the last goddamn couple days before the check period actually start for you, you're out of luck. I don't make money off that shit. You get what I'm saying? It's so much crazy shit. Like, that's slavery. People working in the hole for 3 weeks before they get paid sometimes. And then they working in the hole for 3 weeks for chump change. $10 an hour is still chump. That's basic chump change right there. It's people sitting in fucking buildings selling insurance and shit on their ass on the phone, selling insurance and policies, you know, making bank. It's people, you know, sitting in offices of hotels, you know, basically like just bullshit, making bank. These people sitting on their phone, pressing buttons, waiting for a line to go up and down, making bank, right? But everybody can't do this. Everybody don't have the resources to do it, and everybody can't do it. Even if everybody tried to do it the same way, they say if everybody was millionaires, then the currency would be worth shit. It's the same way that everybody can't be doing Forex. Everybody can't be the CEO of Moderna. Everybody can't, you know, be an insurance worker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be a debt collector. So with that being said, the rest of y'all, slaves. Y'all are slaves. Y'all are the field niggas and we the house niggas. All you see is, you know, your onions at Kroger's. You can go buy them. You don't know where they came from, but this is happening and nobody notices it. And these are essential workers that have been keeping us fed through the pandemic. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I love farming, but I don't want to work at no fucking onion only farm. Like, you're going to have to pay me about $40 an hour to do that shit. And I would do it so good that you probably wouldn't even need a half of the niggas you thought you would need. But guess what? You can't be a 200 millionaire. You and your partners can't be 200 millionaires if you try to get me to do that shit. Because I'm going to charge your ass. Off the rip. If we're doing it by the hour or we're doing it by the salary, I'm going to make sure I'm getting my fair share. But you trying to exploit people who just like, I'll take anything. That's not, bro. The exploited foreign workers were admitted to the U.S. through the fraudulent use of the H-2A guest worker visa program, which has been booming in Georgia as farmers struggle to find domestic sources for labor because they don't want to pay people. They don't want to pay people. According to the Federal Office of Foreign Labor Certification, Georgia had 614 H-2A positions certified in the fiscal year 2020, up from roughly That's on. So what they saying is that's just last year on top of what they've been doing for the last however long they've been letting this shit go on. That's the rate that it jumped up this year, 27,000, up from roughly 5,500 in the fiscal year 2010. Wow. Georgia is second only to Florida for most H-2A workers in the nation. I did not know that, but it makes sense though. I do be seeing a lot of, Latinos, what they call them. Under the H-2A program, workers' legal status in the U.S. is contingent on work remaining under the employment of the party that sponsored their visa. Under the H-2A program, I'm gonna say that again because sometimes people just don't process shit. Under the H-2A program, workers' legal status in the U.S. is contingent on remaining under the employment of the party that sponsored their visa. So basically, that's slavery off rip. Oh yeah, if you want to stay in America, you gotta work for me, nigga. If somebody else see your talent, if somebody else see your talent and they want to offer you more money and they want to offer you a better lifestyle and more comfort for you and your family, you can't take it. Your ass gonna get kicked out the country because you're gonna have to do the whole process over again, which is gonna take a long ass time if you ain't working with no, millionaire, billionaire type, business owner. So and that is so that is the problem with the H-2A visa program, is that it gives too much power to the employer over the worker. That's America though. That's capitalism. That's why they call it the boss. The boss. The idea that everybody fantasizes over there. They can just tell people what to do because there's a medium in between them that establishes their dominance over them. That's your dream right there, to have that medium. It's not that they can just leave and go work for another employer because the visa is tied to that one employer. So that is the problem, okay? Sometimes Mercado Spencer added, employers want to cut corners and make as much profit as possible. Sometimes, should be most of the time. And that's how they do it, by exploiting these workers. We all should be learning from this. If you work for a hospital, if you're a nurse, if you work for a skating rink, if you work for a gas station, if you work for a hotel, you feel me? You cleaning the rooms and shit. You should be learning from this because you should know that your employer is doing shit like this to you. Not necessarily they taking care of you. You could tell if your employer taking care of you. You could tell that it's a difference between employers who actually understand how a business is supposed to be ran and how you're supposed to take care of your employees and how you're supposed to make that shit a real family and not just be saying we're a family around here. Like that shit, you don't gotta say it. You won't have to say it if it was true. So with that being said, that's what most likely that's what your employer doing to you too. But it's just, and you get the opportunity to get food stamps and all that other shit to disguise the fact that your employer is in control of your fucking life, which is no problem because you got to make money, right? Capitalize off of whatever you can as a slave. That's it's certain jobs. That's certain jobs where that's true. Not all jobs, obviously. And I'm just talking, like I just said, some people should be learning from this. Anyway, let's continue on. Among the federal agencies involved in uncovering the South Georgia trafficking ring was Homeland Security Investigations, which is part of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, aka ICE. In a statement released Monday, ICE said the Operation Blooming Onion is the first investigation brought to a close under the agency's new labor exploitation model. It's the first one? Oh, y'all got some other ones that lined up, hopefully. We're going to see. We're gonna see if y'all just focusing on the farmers and shit, so y'all can take they, get your land back cleared and shit, so you can do what you want to do, or is it actually real human trafficking involved in this shit outside of just farm workers and shit, outside of the whole narrative? Yeah, we got niggas workers on farm. That's how we human trafficking. That's the only way. That's the main fucked up way. Y'all doing that shit all over the country, bro. So when the real operations for the real human trafficking gonna come, I challenge you, if you ever watch this, I challenge you to actually go out there and get some real human traffickers. Terrorists. Get some terrorists. Get some terrorists. In October, Homeland Security Agency Alejandro Mayorkas announced a shift in priorities for immigration enforcement. Instead of targeting unauthorized workers through mass raids on workplaces, as was the norm in the past administrations, authorities are now taking aim at exploitative work employers and businesses that violate labor laws. Wow. Y'all wasn't doing that before. Y'all doing it now, though. Nigga, they already know all the secrets. They know how to jug y'all now, bro. It's too late. Shit, y'all talking about this the first one. It's onions. Operation Blooming Onion. I can't believe this shit, bro. As was the norm in past administrations, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We will not tolerate unscrupulous employers who exploit unauthorized workers, conduct illegal activities, or impose unsafe working conditions, said the Homeland Security Secretary. Mercado Spencer said she welcomes the change in policy established by blah, 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 directives and reservations. It's not something permanent. It is not established law with a different president. Things could shift again in the opposite direction. Why the fuck isn't it a law? Y'all are insane. Y'all insane, bro. This is insane. This is insanity, bro. We never ended slavery. We just said, yeah, like y'all can't keep slaves in the South. We got to make this shit more updated. We got a whole prison operation we could do. We got a whole, capitalism-based society we can do, where we can just fuck up the part of the world we live in and make those people so desperate that they want to come here. And then the people who already live here and shit, they got to compete with them. And then that way we can balance out these people being slaves, basically. And that way we can keep at least tenfold the amount of value that they are worth based off of our medium of money. So that's how we're going to have 3 layers of slavery. We're not just going to have the overseer, the field worker, and the house nigga no more. We don't want the next slave even living in the house with us. We don't even want y'all. We want y'all to come in our house, clean our shit, then take y'all ass back to y'all little poor area. So y'all basically slave holding that you pay for now. And the only way you can pay for it now is by working for the employer. Which seems like they got a war on employers who actually have good hearts. They got a war on employers. They don't support their employers who actually fucking want to treat their employees like family. They don't fuck with them type of employees. No, you gotta go to the slave holding with that shit. Go down there and be friends with them. We can use you too as a medium. Go down there and hold on. Okay, I got one more. This is a little 6-minute video. This right here, speaking of slavery, Amazon and shit is known for slavery. With that being said, the tornado, y'all know that tornado had ripped through those states, bro. Like, big ass tornado, fucked up hella shit in the Midwest. As always, like sadly. But the fucked up shit is that, you know, I didn't even know Amazon workers were forced to stay, like they were trapped inside of there, like not by choice. So we're gonna dive into that.
Couple days after 6 workers died in Edwardsville, Illinois, it's come out since that they were made to work. I was just reading to the audience that one of the workers tragically, this is just horrific. Larry Verdon, who died, texted his girlfriend or wife, sorry, I don't know if they were married, Amazon won't let us leave. Yeah. And he died. There's also talk now that Amazon is re-implementing a phone ban where they won't let workers bring in their phone. Kind of important if there's a tornado and weather emergencies. Just your initial reaction to, these workers were made to work during a tornado. Amazon's trying to pretend there wasn't much of a warning, but there were warnings of this tornado for days.
Yeah. Amazon says themselves that workers need their phones only for emergency use only. So if you note that, then in pandemic or not, you need a situation in an emergency. And in these emergency situations, they continue to choose profit over people and capital and keep their workers there or have them there in the first place. If they knew there was going to be a storm that was going to be severe, shouldn't have had them there in the first place.
By the way, you guys know.
And that's crazy because a lot of the times in storms like this, you know, I think it was during the nighttime or night shift or something like that, but I'm not sure. With that being said, it doesn't matter. And I'm still going to use the comparison of where a lot of the times where stuff like this happen, they do have like drills and shit you can do in schools. But a lot of the times the parents are allowed to come pick their kid up and then fucking take them home if they don't want to. If they don't want them to stay inside the school while there's a tornado or a hurricane or some shit. First of all, we have so much technology. We have like some of the most advanced satellites that we've ever had. And it's crazy that they can predict these weather storms and shit like that. But we're such a mechanical society that they don't want to stop the machine. They still gonna tell people, okay, we don't know what time the tornado and shit gonna hit, but y'all go about y'all day as if that shit not gonna happen. And then if something happened, then let's just hope the shit ain't too extreme. Like instead of us just saying, okay, Mother Nature is obviously saying they want everybody to chill today or just be somewhere ducked off, not be driving around in the fucking middle of a tornado, not be working in a fucking warehouse to fulfill orders and shit for people's houses who are fucking being destroyed. That's how crazy and insane that is. You're trying to deliver shit in an area that's being hit by tornadoes, extreme tornadoes, and instead of letting these people go home or go to somewhere they feel like it's safe, or go to protect their family, or go to their underground bunker or some shit, they oh my God, bro. They tell these people, you got to stay in here. That's the best thing for you. Just stay in here and keep working and make some money so we can get these packages together for people who are getting devastated by a fucking tornado. That's the best thing we can do right now is drop off our fucking Amazon packages and shit and keep the economy flowing. That's the best thing.
Oh, this well, it wasn't a tornado, but they kept the warehouse open during Hurricane Ida, which ravaged New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, all parts of the Northeast. I got videos sent to me that water was coming through the front door, but they kept the warehouse open.
Yeah, a worker literally lost their car driving here for fear of losing their own job, risk their own car and livelihood just to get to work.
Well, just to set the record straight, the whole situation was horrible. There was no need for those people to be there. I feel that Amazon has done that when I was in the building as well. Like they've gathered us all together and supposedly a quote unquote safe, secure area. But evidently that isn't, the truth of the matter. I mean, it's just horrifying. I think that all employees should be let home. The employees were trapped here during the flood earlier in the months out here this year. And, yeah, and I mean, enough is enough. And yes, we are against it, and we are in our own way protesting, you know, towards what they're doing. Enough is enough. When do our lives matter first? When do the employees that slave and make Jeff all his money, when do their lives matter? And that's
right after this, actually, right after that tornado collapse where 6 workers died,
yeah.
Bezos sent another one of his space shuttles.
Yeah, he sent another space shuttle up to space. He's got Strahan on there, all these people, you know, and it's usually like, I mean, it's all a publicity thing if you want to talk about the space thing to me.
Yeah, you know, it's just unfortunate because that isn't the first time you hear of an incident like that. As far as workers having to come in, going hard weather, you know, it's been happening since 2015. You know, every year that I can remember that it was a snowstorm or a hurricane, we still had to come in to work if it was our assigned day. So, you know, the fact that this time it took multiple workers' lives, it just shows.
Now, you know, I can hear boomers right now. Y'all suck, bro. Y'all lazy. We had to walk miles in the storm and all this shit. We ain't let nothing stop us. Like, I can hear them talking right now. I can hear, you know, the spirit of our grandmas and granddads and uncles and aunties and shit, you feel me, talking shit. But at the same time, even these people are fucking not going for that shit. So the people who are obviously saying that, they just fucking played out, bro. They played out. They about to go. You feel me? So it's just like cynical shit, basically, to sit right here and anybody who can sit right here and go against the fucking grain of what these fucking firsthand workers are saying. Even like you had people working in coal mines, people dying in steel mills and all this shit back in the day. But guess what? They normalized that shit back then. Bro, this shit got to be, we're unnormalizing this slavery shit. That is slavery. That is fucking slavery, bro. The whole point of doing all that shit was the promise of progression, and that shit never happened. So it's slavery. It's slavery. Ain't no progress. It's still happening. They saying they stuck inside of these places in snowstorm, and they threatening if they don't come into work. You being threatened to leave your family just so you can keep your job, just so you can keep your little insurance, just so you can be seen as a civilized human being in America. Just so you can pay your fucking insurance, just so you can get some food and groceries. You got to leave your family and go work in a warehouse so that people can deliver shit to people that are not trying to leave their house because it's a fucking storm and shit. These businesses are booming around those. Anytime there's a disaster, businesses like Amazon and delivery business and shit like that, and you know, trucking companies and all that shit, they boom because people still want to get their supply of whatever it is, but they don't want to leave their house because the shit is crazy out there. So they hiring people who don't mind doing that shit, who've been trained to do it, and it's been normalized to them to be in the middle of fucking disasters without ever thinking about, like, oh yeah, like what if this truck flip over? What if this car flip over? What if I get swallowed up in a tornado? What if I get hit by lightning? Like all that shit, fuck that, bro. I need money, bro. And I'm not a scary guy. You feel me? I'm not saying like, oh yeah, like if it's a little bit of snow outside, I can't go to work. Like, no, I don't mind work. If my job down the street, I'll walk to that bitch in the middle of the snow. Just because maybe I don't want to be bored. But I'm not about to be forced to do that shit. No. I'm not about to be forced. You're not about to tell me, oh yeah, nigga, I know it's a tornado and a hurricane and it's flooding outside, but your ass better swim to work, nigga. You want us to send you a Uber boat? You want us to come pick you up in a rocket ship? That's what you want us to do? Your ass coming to work though, nigga.
How greedy this corporation is. You know, they'll do anything they can to get a dollar bill, even if it involves sacrificing their own own workers' lives, and it's just really sad to see. And it just really makes us motivated more, as ALU to continue our fight and make sure that we win this union, because the fact that they have this cell phone policy, there's no cell phone policy, really it irks me, because a situation like that of a tornado, this poor worker just reaching out to his wife, just telling them, Amazon won't let me leave, and it's like almost a cry for help, and there was no alternative for him, and it's just so sad.
You were made to work during Hurricane Ida, during snowstorms. What's your reaction to, what honestly sounds kind of scandalous?
I mean, it's anybody who's worked here long enough when there's been hazardous weather knows that they never close this building. Doesn't matter how bad the weather is. So I've driven to work in blizzards where I can't even see out my front window. In August, we had those 2 hurricanes back to back. And
so this is where it's going to get fucked up, because you don't know, bro. Like, somebody, how many people die on their way to work doing stupid shit like that? And it'll be on the news, but they'll never tell you what job they was trying to go to and why they was trying to get there so desperately. That shit don't matter. The nigga just died on the road, because he needed some groceries and shit, because, they don't allow people to grow food in their yard in certain states and certain part of cities and shit. Like, you feel me? So it's just so many different ways to where it's bullshit. You feel me? And they not really being honest with these numbers, talking about 6 people died. If you tallying those 6 people along with all the other people who died on their fucking job and trying to get to their job in the middle of disasters and shit like that, if you tally that all up together, it's got to be millions a year in America alone. Okay, I'm not gonna say millions, at least 500,000 a year in America alone. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, okay, obviously those numbers are off.
I wasn't affected, thankfully, but there are people I know who, they lost everything in that storm, and they still had to come to work the next day through these flooded roads. I know a manager whose car was flooded and he couldn't even get to work, but they still made everybody come in.
And then that's the crazy part, bro. Like, after these disasters happen, the government will come in. If you got a job, they'll do a little bit of, stimulus for the area and your government so they can help clean up the disaster. But the people in those in those cities and shit, the government they barely get them fucking good enough fucking resources to actually stay on top of their fucking toes. So they still are forced to go to work in these situations. They still want to stay ahead of the curve because they don't want to be, stuck in a hole like they were in a previous time. So it's crazy, bro. Like, that is slavery, bro. The people who own these fucking corporations don't even live in these areas. They don't live in the same, bro. They don't live in the same fucking area, bro. They somewhere where they'll probably never have a hurricane or tornado. And if they do, they can just fly out. But they're trying to force you to stay working during that time. They're trying to force you to stay in there. They're trying to mind fuck everybody into coming into work. You're trying to put pride and give incentives to people who are sociopaths for them. Fuck my family. And anybody who anybody who don't come into work, bro, they lame as fuck, bro. That's lazy, bro. They know they should have been here. Bro, y'all sick, bro.
And it's part of their whole, we can never shut down, especially not during peak. They got to make money, and it doesn't really matter what we have to say about it. We have no power in that.
Peaks, the holidays?
Yes.
Let me ask you, right now there's been a lot of focus put back on the fact that they're trying to re-implement a phone ban where workers can't have their phones. Kind of important to have your phones to get up. And
I don't want to keep cutting these people off, but it's just crazy because I know a lot of people who work for Amazon probably be like, bro, that ain't happening here. It ain't no disasters really happening in my part where I work at Amazon. That, bro, let anything happen that's fucked up almost. If let something fucked up happen to you, it's going to be the same situation. And a lot of y'all just me talking about this or relating to it simply because of the fact that you were experiencing this at your job. You've experienced this at your job before. working for another human being. You feel me? Working for another human being who's been mind fucked to work for another human being who was nowhere near them and nowhere near these disasters so that they can serve other human beings who are mind fucked into consumerism. Instant gratification. And we don't see that this is the most idiotic way we can run a society is capitalism and or even capital a sociologic. I mean, wait, let me say this right. A socialist capitalistic republic. That's what we got. A socialist capitalistic republic. That's the best, bro. This shit is, bro. We can do something better, bro. I can write. If you just give me a fucking year in a cabinet, I could write a whole new fucking government up. The perfect society. I'm pretty sure a lot of the public can do the same thing, bro. We can think of something better just off the tip of our fingers. Anybody who don't fucking who don't feed off their ego. All you gotta do is sit down and think about the society as a whole. Get information on, get different opinions from different people and take that into account. We all can build a better fucking society without violence either. Because it don't take a lot of changes. It just take a couple fucking key changes. Like 10 key changes and this society will be perfect. But never if we still got people prideful about shit like this, if we still got people executing these fucking demands of these corporate leaders without any fucking remorse for the people who are coming in and sacrificing their lives literally for $15 to $20 an hour and a little insurance, you feel me? And you know, your family get to go on vacation and all that shit, and then that's all you need, bro. What else you want, bro? What else do you want? Get your ass in this fucking house. Get your ass out there in that field, nigga. Warehouse work.
Tornadoes, hurricanes, a pandemic. Can you kind of talk about, it seems like they've been trying to loosen COVID restrictions and re-implement pre-pandemic things like a phone ban.
Yeah, so yeah, before COVID, you couldn't have your cell phone in the building. You had to leave it in your car or in a locker. During the pandemic, there's a lot of people, number one, the turnover is so high here that there's people who work here with their phones and they don't even know what it's like to not have their phone in there. Yeah, so this whole pandemic, we've had our phones and, we still broke records in this building. We're like the top performing building in the network, and across Amazon, Amazon is still outperforming expectations. The stock price is still going up. And the thing is, they would like this to be like a prison. You come in and you're pretty much disconnected from the outside world. But people are really accustomed now to the fact that they can have their phones, they can connect with their families on the outside. If there's an emergency, they have their phone with them.
That's
crazy. They don't have to be completely disconnected from everybody for their 10 or 12-hour shift.
Shut it down. Let me hear you.
It's a lot of invasive shit going on. I just thought about a situation if somebody has a pregnant wife or a pregnant person, she needs her fucking partner and she goes into labor and they telling you can't have your fucking phone in there. You gotta wait all the way until your break in order to, blah blah blah, in order to get in touch with your wife or your pregnant partner. Now, also, what if there's a situation where I don't want to, why is there so much invasiveness to where even if they're giving exceptions to the phone thing, like, okay, if you got if your baby mama pregnant or if you got a baby on the way, then yeah, you can keep your phone, bro, but I better not see you on that shit type shit unless it's actually an emergency. Even in those exceptions, you got to give away your information. You got to freely give away your information about your personal life to somebody who could then use the information against you in some way. Or if they wanted to, just keep it. It just goes into the mindfuck aspect of it. You get what I'm saying? Of there being a hierarchy inside of these corporations.
Shut it down. Fighting for cell phones.
least $30 an hour. That should be the bare minimum. Bare. That should be the bare minimum. That should be minimum wage for working at Amazon. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and like this video. It's on Rock Fan. Y'all go for a Rock Fan. With that being said, I'm gonna do a little quick scan of the Google News shit like I always do. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? Let's see. Like I said, like I always do, I'm gonna do a little quick scan of the Google News shit, see what they talking about. With that being said, we're about to hop into it. I see the first thing they still talking about, they got the COVID news shit at like first thing up there. I do not give a fuck about that. Supreme Court shutdown looms. Supreme Court shutdown looms. Vaccine mandate revived. U.S. COVID-19 vaccine mandate revived. Supreme Court shutdown looms. Federal Appeals Court allows Biden vaccine mandate for large companies to resume. Federal Appeals Court reinstates Biden administration. Bro, we already know they working hand to hand, bro. The big, large corporations and what the numbers don't matter, bro. Like the numbers really don't matter about how many employees. It's about money. So the real large corporations and companies that are in bed with the politicians, they wanted the vaccine mandate because it's another flex of their power on both hands. It's another flex to say, oh, well, yeah, if you got to come in this job, if you want to come in this Amazon job, you got to get a vaccine now. You get what I'm saying? If you want to make $30 an hour, you got to get a vaccine. And when you come in here, you better act right, bitch. And acting right is whatever I tell you to fucking do. After I train you, I'm going to give you an overseer. You're supposed to act right. And it's a flex on the power of the politicians just because they are the people signing that shit, and then the corporations are the people executing the bullshit of the bullshit. OSHA mandate rule. Court reinstates large rule for large employers. OSHA sheds new light on enforcement timeline. That's insane. I don't even know how to feel about that. Fuck that fact check shit. They got a fact check shit over there. Maryland school district temporarily going back to virtual learning and amid COVID-19 surge. Prince George's County Public Schools shifts to virtual learning due to uptick in COVID cases. And that's in the Hill. Homeschool is better anyway, in my opinion. But in order to keep homeschooling, we're gonna have to set up social programs to where we work together as a society. You know, not saying, and fuck all the taxes and shit, right? We don't have to do all that. It can just be based off of, community. It could be based off of statesmanship. Nothing to do with war, nothing to do with guns, nothing to do with none of that. Just a couple farmers markets, maybe a couple programs to teach kids how to do stuff. Maybe, a couple fucking making spaces where mothers and families can come together outside of festivals and shit like that, and talk about actual shit and heal together. Like, that's the type of shit we need. It's not just about homeschooling. You get what I'm saying? Like, homeschooling is a part. In order to make homeschooling more effective, we had to shift the society more towards, community-based society instead of a federal country-based shit. Man, that shit's so stupid. Country. We should just destroy that whole idea of a country. There should be no countries. "29 school threats reported across Minnesota as school leaders monitor TikTok challenge." Republicans are clapping their hands hard as fuck right now. They've been told y'all about how TikTok was a government psyops and is working with China and shit like that. Companies use government-backed loans to buy mobile home parks and raise rents. Companies use government-backed loans to buy mobile home parks and raise rents. So they even trying to gentrify the fucking mobile home parks, bro. That's how they gentrify these mobile home parks, you know? That's how they do that shit, bro, with the government's money. With the government money. Unvaccinated kids can stay in school after exposure if tested, CDC says. Fuck. If tested, right? If tested. How many ways y'all gonna test these fucking kids, bro? How many different forms of tests do y'all want to keep giving these creative and growing beings that we fucking call children and kids? Kids is what they call them on USA Today, right? These are kids. These are kids. 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 Kid stuff. This is all kid stuff. You know, this is kid shit. This is kid shit right here. You testing this shit right here is not kid shit. You feel me? You testing kids in a fucking, you know, box, square, cube fucking classroom and socially engineering them and testing them every way fucking possible to get information so that you can learn how to control them and continue controlling them. That's not kid shit. That shouldn't be kid shit. That shouldn't be normalized at all. I gotta move on, bro. Omicron may be less severe in South Africa. That may not be the case for the US. Oh my God, bro. Google News, okay. That's the top stories. Fuck the top stories. All the top stories, still trash as always. They tripping. What's going on with the goddamn signal? Maybe I got too much shit loaded up. All right. Okay. All right. For you. Okay. There we go. 12 games killed in 2021 that prove preservation is vital. I might have to check that out later. But at the same time, like, the gaming industry is fucking greedy as fuck too. And it's basically, they have slave labor and all that shit too. So we gotta address that. CNN's Anderson Cooper reveals who was eager to grab Chris Cuomo's time slot. Oh wow. Got some tea over there, huh, Anderson Cooper? About your CNN shit. Man, nobody don't fuck CNN, bro. And it's crazy that Fox News is reporting this story. Y'all don't get it, bro. It's all this, bro. Y'all still don't get it. It's all the same people. It's all the same show. They playing their roles. I don't get it. Why the fuck would Fox News be fucking gossiping about Anderson Cooper? Let me get my sneaker. Had to get a smoothie, you feel me? But yeah, that's all the show. Fuck Anderson Cooper, fuck Tucker Carlson, fuck all these fuck that. Fuck Fox News and fuck CNN. Crypto exchanges keep getting hacked, and there's little anyone can do. I had my little phase with crypto, and right now, even though I'm still investing into it, sadly, because I feel like I've been jugged. Not jugged in a way where it's like, oh yeah, you're not making money off of it. No, you could definitely make money off of it. But this whole gig where somehow crypto is a better alternative to our current money situation is a lie. It's based off of the same money situation, which is based off of banking. It's just online banking. It's a cryptic banking. It's the same shit. It's based off of bank. The policies won't change, just the way you're doing it. Maybe you could change the policies a little bit based on the way you're doing it. But with that being said, it's still a bank. This whole propaganda where they trying to make it seem like this shit is like so much better and it's going to save the world and it's going to be so much, the cryptocurrency is going to stop all the greed in the world and all this. No, cryptocurrencies literally got created for dark shit. It's an exchange. It was originally made as an exchange for what they call criminals, people who sell drugs to each other, people who got sex rinks and, you know, swinging and shit like that. You feel me? And the people who, you know, sell organs. That wasn't propaganda. The whole thing about that was true. It's not only used by criminals, the same way they say it's not only the American money is used by criminals too, but that don't mean we should stop doing that. It's not only used by criminals, but most of it is used by the people who control most of it is used by criminals. The criminals are criminals because they're quote unquote trying to present to the public that there's a certain set of rules that everybody has to abide by. While they're enforcing that illusion, they're behind closed doors, literally only doing that so that they can continue exploiting, you know, different ways. They can continue finding different ways and better ways of doing shit. While you will never know that because you are stuck inside of this, you know, box of laws. You're stuck inside of a book of laws. I can't just tell my kids what's fucked up in the world. We got to have a law book that tell everybody what's fucked up in the world. And then the people who get it, who actually do the fucked up shit, they create the laws. Good ass smoothie, bro. So yeah, that's how I feel about crypto at this point in time. It's a scam overall. It's gonna keep getting hacked and all that shit because it's not secure. It's just the same as a bank. And with that being said, Y delta G equals delta H minus T delta S. It's the most important equation in biochemistry. I'm going to have to definitely look into that later. I'm trying to skim through this shit right quick. Kamala Harris' interview with Charlemagne the God gets heated after he asks who the real president is. Oh shit, Charlemagne, bro, you funny as hell, boy. This man keep challenging these people as if they not gonna murder his ass. No, they ain't gonna murder him. He a part of the shit too. But yeah, they get more bang for their buck with Charlemagne because, you know, he has a toxic program, but they could use that toxic program to reach the people who they are intentionally making toxic through social engineering. And that way, whenever they get into these heated arguments, it's not even a heated thing, really. He not asking him like, oh yeah, like when y'all gonna free all the people in prison who are locked up for marijuana charges now that marijuana is legal mostly in some of these, like in these states and shit. When y'all gonna draw some legislation and all that shit or try to make that shit happen? He's not asking shit like that. He's asking, oh, who the real president is. Oh yeah, let's be real, bro. Your black ass in there running shit, ain't you? That's the type of shit that they want you to think is heated questions. That's the type of fucking journalism and questioning they want going on. Idiocracy shit. Kamala Harris' interview with Charlamagne the God gets heated after he asked who the real president is. Fox News and New York Post just so happen to have the exact same fucking headline, bro. Social engineering. Nobody don't give a fuck about that. 3 Zodiac. Oh, that's the Zodiac shit. I don't even know why they be sending me this shit no more. Matter of fact, let me do this right quick. Oh wait, I don't let you do that shit on here. Hide fewer stories like this, yeah. Don't show me that shit no more. That's stupid shit. Let's be real. Not the Zodiac astrology shit, but that whole signs we're gonna have a great week. Like that horoscope shit is out of here. This study predicts who is most likely to get hurt in the wilderness. What the fuck? This is in my stories. How is that related to me? Where did I choose in my favorites that made y'all think I wanted to know shit like that? I guess I do like studying random shit, but REITs are poised to outperform stocks next year. Here are 3 picks. I bet they are. Real estate and all that shit is the main source of capitalism. That was the first thing they exploited was the land and the people on it. So yeah. Atlanta news. Police investigating after dozens of tires slashed in Midtown. Who the fuck? Bro, who the fuck going around Midtown slashing tires and shit, bro? Around Christmas. Bro, they petty as hell. That's petty as fuck. Ah! Ah! That's so fucking petty, bro. That's petty as fuck. I can't even believe that shit. WSB Atlanta. Y'all got the craziest fucking stories. Right? Atlanta baker Teresa Finery bakes creatively favored Pandos. I don't know how I don't eat that shit anyway. Don't know why y'all sending me this shit. Let me see if I can do the same. Yeah, I don't want to see no shit like this. What shit? COVID-19 cases on crew lead Megan Thee Stallion, Dragon Brothers Ministry. Here we go. COVID-19 cases on crew lead. I don't get that. Next, I guess that means cancel. So basically, COVID-19 cases in Atlanta made Megan Thee Stallion, the Jonas Brothers, stop singing in Atlanta. The Jingle Ball, bro. Y'all really trying to kill somebody out. I feel like y'all trying to kill somebody out there, bro. I really do. I feel like y'all gonna try to kill somebody out here. Like, it's not about COVID-19. Like, why the fuck are y'all trying to get people in these fucking, mass numbers that come out and celebrate a fucking fake ass fruit falling down when all this crazy shit going on in the world? That's what people need. A celebration, a festival for a fake holiday that is not even based off of the fucking real year, the solar cycle. That's what we need. We need to keep the capitalism running in the wintertime where everybody naturally would stay at home more and wouldn't even fucking celebrate shit besides the winter solstice and probably a family member's birthday or whatever fucking tradition they got in their family. Now we have to come together for a fake holiday called New Year's. A fake New Year. Eight convoy of care trucks from Atlanta loaded with supplies arrived in Kentucky. The biodiversity crisis needs its net zero moment. Biodiversity crisis. There's a biodiversity crisis in Atlanta. I only doubt it with all the bullshit they be having going on. California pot companies warn of impeding industry collapse. I bet so, because they probably don't have the land to do that shit on. And if they do, they're about to get forced into slavery too, probably. Final Fantasy VII Remake PC port is a major disappointment. Damn, Final Fantasy. Bruh, I can't lie. I haven't really been into Final Fantasy since like 2008 type shit, you feel me? But that's because like I don't know, bro. Like it's something about it that just seems like too much 90s still. And the whole thing is like I never was even into the story overall. So when the part that I had got into it, it was like I was confused as fuck. Cause it's like it's kind of like a real anime type shit, but it's a game. So that's why I guess people fuck with it who was a part of it from the beginning, or maybe who are just deep into it. But I'm disappointed with most games nowadays anyway, to be honest. So with that being said, because it's based off fucking money. Yeah. So stop sharing. This has been Matrix Shit News Network. Thank you all for joining. See you tomorrow.